Good morning, sunshine, and welcome back to the sunny side. I am very excited to be bringing you part 4 of the Color is Magic series. Clearly, today's color is orange. I decided to work from the root chakra upward as far as the color story goes, and there will be some other shades in between that are not related to the chakras, but today is the sacral chakra. So creativity, emotions, sexuality, and just that sort of energy. Orange invokes this power of invitation, welcoming comfort and acceptance, can raise the self-esteem, enhance motivation and activity. Wear or eat natural orange colored foods. Oh wait, don't wear the foods. Wear orange. Or eat natural orange colored foods such as oranges, pumpkins, carrots, etc. if you want to increase the flow of creative energy in your life from within. It helps with balancing your emotions and your sexuality and just getting that energy flowing from the sacral chakra, which is right below your belly button. If you want to stick around, today I'm going to be doing a 2-part look, starting with a simple sort of watercolor like daytime look and transitioning it into a moodier nighttime version of itself. Without further ado, let's get on to the look. I decided for today's look that I want to do something that can start fairly simple and be transitioned into something a little bit more complex and interesting for the future when we can actually go out again. So it'll be like a daytime to nighttime sort of situation. Mostly because I love orange so much and I just can't seem to decide on like a palette or a type of orange. So we're just going to give ourselves a little bit more options. First, I'm just going to kind of fly through some of my favorite orangey eyeshadow palettes, or some of them only really have like a couple of oranges, but they're oranges that I love. Starting with the Chi Chic Beauty Naomi Smalls collab. You know I love this palette. There are so many beautiful oranges in here. In fact, when I first saw it, I was like, there's a lot of oranges in here. And now I'm very thrilled and happy. So there's like this one, these 3, and even this shade has like an orange tone to it. So there's some like very warm neutral shades in here that are definitely orangey. The Nomad Cartagena Magica palette has a spattering of really great oranges as well. Let's see. So the Tapatio collection from Hip Dot, there is La Diabla and El Dorado. The El Dorado has like these 2, this one and this one are like, well, the glitter is a orangey with like multicolored flecks, and the shimmer up top is a kind of like a golden orange. And La Diabla has these 2 really beautiful orange shades for blush, not eyeshadow, but the BH Cosmetics Chocolate Orange Truffle Palette. These show up on the face a lot more orange than they look in the pan. They look like they're going to be kind of soft and neutral, but they're pretty orange. This one I literally grabbed for one shade, but there is a dark orange in it as well. It's the Saharan 2 by Juvias Place. This color is my favorite. It's like a peachy soft orange with like a really subtle, let's see if this, it's got like a warm golden glow. I have used it as highlighter before. It's really fun. And there's like a deep kind of pumpkin orange in here as well. The Sweet Shop collection from BH Cosmetics, I cannot recommend these palettes enough. They're kind of hard to get your hands on. They sold out for the first round and they were limited release, but they actually did a re-release. I believe this one is still available. It is just full of gorgeous, gorgeous oranges. Every shade in here is, I have to use this today. Then I've got Orange You Glad and Coast to Coral by Colourpop. The Orange You Glad one is pretty like classic, straightforward, full of orange. Like their 9-pan monochromatic palettes are pretty great. Obviously it's coral, so it's got a pinkiness to it, but there are some pretty solid orangey tones in here. On camera, I think it kind of just looks pink, but there's definitely some orangey vibes as well. Beauty Bay Sunset Horizons has this row. I mean, this is hot pink obviously, but these 4 are really beautiful orangey tones. And lastly, Fade Into Hue from Colourpop. This is like a rainbow palette, but I think it's a really unique rainbow palette. There's tones of colors that are not just like straightforward. You'll see it's kind of a unique take. There's an entire row of orange. Oh wait, I also grabbed a couple liquid products. So the Peau de Creme liquid shadows from Chi Chic. This one is Soda Pop. It's just a kind of light, fun, fresh orange. I was having a hard time picking up on the exact color shift in it, but it looks like maybe it's got a little bit of a blue. Getting started with my Wayne Goss number 16 fluffy all over color blending brush. I'm going to throw in the shade Highland Avenue. It's this really soft, not quite peachy, you know, it's just like yellowy soft orange as a base shade. For the crease and right above the lid, I'm going to be using the Nomad Cartagena Magica palette. The shade is called Realismo Magico. This is a shiny, tapered crease brush. Just a nice wash of orange.
I'm going to throw on a little bit of shimmer on the lid, and then a highlight shade on the brow bone in the inner corner, and then we'll just finish off the under eye with this same shade for a simple look number 1.
And the shimmer shade that I think is going to work the best is Citron from the Orange Sorbet palette by BH Cosmetics. I have so many brushes, I can never seem to find the one that I want to use the most. This is the Hide and Sleek from Beauty Bay. It's like a medium-sized sweeper brush. Applying that into the inner corner, and then I'll do the rest with my finger. I'm gonna wet the brush to give that shimmer a little extra. Since the complementary color to orange is blue, orange clothing and eyeshadow looks so good on people with blue eyes, but also orange, perfect for deep complexions. I think it would look great with green eyes and brown eyes as well. I just think orange is really versatile, even though it can be a little bit of an intimidating shade, or color I should say. Just so lively. And then for the brow bone in the inner corner, I'm gonna go in with this shade called Yum. It's just a really light, sort of iridescent looking peachy orange. This is a V15 brush by BH Cosmetics. It's like my sort of chunky pencil brush I always use for this.
Wow, this is pretty.
With the brush again. Without adding any additional product, I just grabbed the tapered blending brush that I used earlier for the crease shade. I'm just going to kind of blend the crease and the highlight that I just added. Alrighty, I'm going to throw in some concealer really quick. Today I'm using The Most from Chi Chic Beauty, and then I'll finish up the under portion of the eye. Alright, so I threw on a little concealer and foundation. I have obviously not put on the rest of my complexion products because we'll do that later, but I'm going to use the All About Matte Fix Powder from Essence Beauty and just quickly give the under eyes a little set. I find I have better luck blending colors when there's like a powder for them to blend into, rather than trying to blend a powder eyeshadow on top of moist concealer. This is just a personal preference. So I'm actually going to use a slightly different shade than the shade that I used up here. Something just a touch deeper, the Mud Mask, like rusty sort of orange from the Chi Chic 2 Queens 1 Desert palette. Love the name of that palette, by the way. Well, technically it's called Mad Maxine Soot Yourself from the 2 Queens 1 Desert collection. So many words. I just have this like small angled brush. I don't know if it ever had writing on it or if it's just worn off, but I don't know what this brush is. Just lightly pressing that shade into right below my waterline. We're actually going to bring it almost all the way in.
So orange.
And I have a Wayne Goss number 20 brush. It's like a small, fluffy brush. And we're gonna dip that into Tangerine from the BH Cosmetics palette. Just lightly, I don't wanna go crazy with this, but just to soften out the edge and give it another like lighter tone to blend into. So I feel like this look would look really great with a yellow eyeliner, but I'm not going to do that today. Just a recommendation, if you have yellow eyeliner, Looks really lovely with orange. I want to go with this rusty shade. It's called Red Rocks. It's from ColourPop. It's just gonna keep this look super monochromatic. Going back to that shade Yum, just adding a bit more in the inner corner. Blending it out into not quite the middle, but just blending it outward a little bit into that orange liner. And this would be look number one. It's just a wash of essentially one shade. I mean, there's like a couple variances, but I've stuck with a very similar shade of orange. I know you can't totally get the full effect without seeing the rest of the face, but I want to save that for the second look. This is just a light orange base shade, a mid-tone crease. There's no real like transition shade. I just used those two shades and then a slightly deeper liner and a highlight, a little shimmer on the lid. Now let's see where else we can take this.
Inspirational.
So I thought about it for a moment, jumping over to the Saharan 2 from Juvia's Place, and we're going to utilize these two shades in the bottom. It's like a deep rusty pumpkin kind of shade, and this one is like a warm brown. This might just do the trick. So if not, we're going to bounce over here. I'm going to start with this little number 8 brush from BH Cosmetics. It's just a small, like tapered, fluffy, I think it's a crease brush.
Don't quote me.
The shade is called Taza. But as you can see, I've got some loose powder in the under eye area to catch any pesky fallout. This is the Chi Chic, sorry, the container's so gnarly. Puff Puff Pass in the shade Ivender. It's just like essentially a white with like a slight lavender tone. Just gonna add that to the outer portion of the crease. Okay, I like where we're going with that, but I definitely want it to be a little bit deeper. This darker warm brown shade is called Fez. That's definitely going closer to what I want this to look like. We'll have to touch up around the edges in a bit. I'm just gonna finish this one. I'm gonna do the same exact thing. Now I'm grabbing the E15 flat definer brush by Sigma Beauty. I'm taking that same dark shade to bring it in about a third of the way into the liner. I'm not going to be adding any more powdered shades to this, so I'm going to dust off that setting powder and then blur the edges out, just touch that up a bit. This is a Wayne Goss airbrush. I have a fluffy brush from ColourPop. So back to the Wayne Goss number 20 brush that I added that light under eye shade earlier. I'm not going to add anything to it initially, I'm just going to use it to soften out this edge. I'm going to add a touch of concealer to the outer edge of this just to give it a smoother look. A Pat McGrath concealer brush. Alright, now I'm going to grab that Pot de Creme by Chi Chic in the shade Soda Pop and just throw it on the inner corner of my lid to just bring some life to that shade. This is a Morphe M124. It's a small, flat shader brush. This has a doe foot applicator, but I prefer not to use it. So I basically brought that like 3/4 into the eye, keeping my eye kind of squinted so it will dry. Hooded eye problems. Just softening the edge with my finger. So I know I'm kind of bouncing from palette to palette with this eye. I'm just kind of determined to find the perfect shades. This was a build your own palette from Ardellbeauty, but I have this kind of almost coppery, it's called ACS7. Wow, that's exciting. Anyway, I'm gonna just put this right in the middle to give the metallic shade I just threw on there a nice transition over, just with my finger. Oh, that's nice, it's like a metallic pumpkin. I'm actually going to darken up the liner a bit as well. This is Rich Hazel from Wayne Goss. Really love his eye kohls. They're fantastic. They come in a few different colors. I'm just gonna literally do like the very outer corner and then my tight line. I'm gonna smudge that out a bit with a little pencil brush. This one is nameless. Alrighty, so I'm going to throw on all my complexion products except for blush, and then we'll do a little orange blush together before I finish out the look. So with the chocolate orange truffle, I'm going to go in with the top right shade, start at the height of my cheek, and then the shade below it, which is a little bit even more orangey, I'm going to concentrate that right here. This is a BH Cosmetics number 3 brush. It's my favorite for blush. I'm just going to soften it up a bit. With another mystery brush that my mom gave me for Christmas, I'm gonna toss a little blush on the tip of the nose. We're gonna go with that softer upper right corner shade. I'm gonna add a touch just right up here and a whisper on the cheek. I meant chin. I'm thinking that using one of these as a highlight is going to be really fun. That Yum shade that we used in the inner corner and the brow bone. I think I'm going to try it.
Why not, you know? Let's have some fun.
I'm feeling really good about this, so I'm going to throw on some lashes and a lip and come back in a finished look. Here we have the finished look. Thank you so much again for joining me for part 4 of Color is Magic. I had so much fun making this video today. Oh, and by the way, I hope you're staying warm. It has been so cold here in Portland. The last few days, there's been more snow here than the city has seen in years. And yesterday morning, everything was covered in ice. It was beautiful, but a little bit spooky. But all of the moisture in the air got me thinking, what is my next color going to be? And with the chakras, the sacral chakra, the color is orange, but the element is water. So I know it seems like a stretch, but I decided to do orange for that reason. So this mantra, or honestly, it's kind of like a spell, was inspired by that. I am a sensory being filled with creative and exciting potential. I embrace life with passion and welcome joy and positive connection with an open heart. I release my fears and invite the warm energy of happiness and creation to take its place. My body is beautiful and I am worthy of fulfilling and healthy sexual experiences because I am complete. I hope you have a beautiful, safe, and somehow warm February day. Cheers.
Smell lipstick, okay?
Have an amazing day.
Goodbye.